Good evening and welcome to the Dave Ray Show. I'm your host, Dave Ray, here with Loretto High School business teacher, Mary Peck. How are you, Miss Peck?
I'm great, Dave.
Well, it's great to have you on the show. I've been looking forward to this for a while, and it's really been weird because when I graduated, I was taking business classes all the time. And I saw Miss Peck all throughout the day, and it's really been weird. So I'm glad to be able to see you again and have you on the show. I've been looking forward to this.
Well, me too. And there's no greater feeling than being able to see your students after school doing what they love. And so this is wonderful for me. Wonderful.
It's a lot of fun. So what is your favorite thing about teaching?
Well, oh my goodness, it's really hard to pinpoint a favorite thing, but one of the best parts about it, I believe, is getting to know each student. At Loretto High School, we're a big family.
Yes.
And so to get to know each and every student inside and out and know their personality, and then to watch them grow for 4 years, that's a long time, even though it does pass by fast. To me, that's just the best. To be able to get to know the students and to be able to watch them change through those 4 years and think about what they want to pursue when they graduate, and then to watch them after that is my favorite.
Wow. So I can't imagine how difficult teaching can be in some scenarios. The paperwork, just teaching in general, I can't imagine. So what would you say the toughest part of your job is as a teacher?
I think really probably the hardest part for me personally is knowing that there are some things I cannot change. Some things I do not have control over. Of course, we want everything to be perfect for our kids all the time, and we want to shelter them from experiences and things like that, but it's beyond our control sometimes. And sometimes I tend to think about those situations long after the day's over, and I worry about the kids and things like that. And I think that's probably the hardest part for me is to, try and not dwell on certain things that I can't change.
Right. Wow.
If that makes sense.
That's powerful.
If that makes sense.
Yes, it does, for sure. So what does your daily schedule look like? I know that varies all the time, I'm sure, but just on a general day, what does that look like?
It does. Well, of course, we're on the block schedule at our high school, and so I generally get to school really early. I'm one of those people that likes to be there way ahead of time, and I teach 4 different classes.
Wow.
So I have, different preps that I have, and but it's neat because I get to see different groups of kids, each period.
Right.
So I teach an intro to business class this time, which I have not taught in a few years, so that's been fun. And I have, of course, virtual enterprise, and then I have our MTI group. I have advanced computer apps this time, which is only the second time I've taught that in a while. So it's neat to get to teach different things.
So you're talking about business. That's a career and technical education course, or CTE is the short word that you probably hear a lot. So let's talk about how CTE really benefits students. And not only students, but going into the workforce. How does CTE really help with that?
Well, I'll have to shorten my talk since we are limited on time, because I could talk about CTE all day. But the best part about CTE, and what we have to remember here, is that CTE is unique where we are combining our academic courses in with hands-on experience. Our students in our CTE classes are able to explore and learn more about these careers they want to go into. And at the same time, they're getting these hands-on skills that are so very valuable. Some of our students are able to explore multiple pathways. For instance, I had a student a few years back who wanted to be a pharmacist, and he's still pursuing that, but he wants to own his own pharmacy one day. So he was able to focus in both health science and business to benefit what he wants to do in the future. Our students are able to earn many different industry certifications, such as some that you have yourself, the Microsoft Office Specialist.
Right.
We have our CNA for our nursing students.
Which is really awesome.
Which is wonderful. Those students are able to actually practice in the facilities, as you know, here in Lawrence County, and then they're able to take that national test and go straight to the workforce right when they graduate. And some of them do that before they graduate. We have some students who are in our welding and plumbing and electric programs through TCAT. They're able to not only learn their certifications through that, their OSHA 10s and things like that, but then they're able to take those hours they're they're accumulating towards their welding certificates and such, and apply that and actually come back as adult students through TCAT after they graduate Loretto. We've also got a certification we're doing in virtual enterprise called the Workplaceless Certification. It's a remote worker certification that the students are also able to do. But like I say, there's just several opportunities there for that sort of thing. We actually have a new program this year, our cosmetology program. And we're very excited about that. We've had students, and we've all wanted that for years, and we've actually got to finally get that going. It's going great. The kids are really liking this, and they will be able to accumulate hours there as well, and then transfer that to further learning because it's all done on hours. A lot of these programs are, and so we're really excited about that. And the cool thing about CTE is most of our instructors, I don't know what percentage it would be here in Lawrence County. It would be interesting to know, but most of our CTE teachers have worked in the industry for years. And they're bringing that real-world experience to the classroom every day so that not only students are getting their academic courses integrated in with ours, they're getting all of these hours built up and certifications and things like that, but they're getting experience from someone who's been there, someone who has worked in many of those careers. For instance, I worked in retail management for many years before I went back to get a different degree. I started out in marketing with my first degree, and worked in that for several years, and then was able to go back and get my education degree so that I've got the best of both worlds there.
Right.
So as I said, the best thing about CTE is they're able to actually get prepared for a career and sometimes just walk right into the career when they leave us. So it's just it's a win-win situation.
Well, I took a lot of business courses. Miss
Did
Pack,
you take all of them? Did you have every one we had?
I might have.
I think you may have.
I'm not sure right off the top of my head. I'd have to go back and look at my transcript. But anyways, I took a lot, at least a lot of them. I took a lot of the courses.
Yeah, you did.
And I think I ran out of options. I think you're right. I think I did take all of them.
It seems like you may have.
And so I went to a health science course because I was like, why not? Just for fun, just to see what that was about. Well, the first day we were in health science class, Miss Stout actually went around the room and she had asked, she was like, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And, all of these, we've got doctors, we've got nurses. And then she gets to me, law and business. And she's like, why are you even in here? And I said, well, I just really want to see what health science is about. And, it was a fun course.
And you loved that.
I did. It was a fun course. I now carry around a medical bag, so I'm prepared. So, anyways, that's entirely beside the point, though.
Well, and certification-wise, too, in some of her classes, I didn't mention CPR earlier.
Right.
But some of them are CPR certified as well. Right. So it never hurts. And we were talking about this the other day. Actually, Ms. Stout and I were talking about accounting class. And she said, well, accounting's just good for anybody. And I said, well, sure it is. They can apply that to their personal finances if nothing else. So they're so beneficial.
Yes.
They're so beneficial.
And it's really nice to be able to walk out of high school with industry certifications like you were talking about because, some things like OSHA and then the CNA, you can go directly into the workforce with that certification. But OSHA, that's very important for a lot of different workplaces that are hands-on and a lot of large machinery and things like that. I could go on about that, but like Microsoft Office specialist, that's good for, people who are going into maybe a business sector with all these word processing certifications, things like that. So it's a lot of fun, but it's nice, like I said, to leave high school with those certifications.
Because we have had some employers, here in Lawrence County before who have looked at the resume of a student and said, okay, I see that you have OSHA 10 already.
Right.
Your pay scale may be just a little higher than someone coming in who doesn't already have that. Our construction, we didn't talk about construction earlier in family and consumer science, but in those two areas, they're getting so many opportunities. How many students get to build a house?
Right.
When they're in high school. Our engineering, our pre-engineering and our robotics and all of that. Mr. Quillen does an excellent job with those students. Preparing them for engineering majors. And so our CTSOs also through FBLA, our agriculture, we didn't talk about agriculture earlier, but Mr. Bryant has a wonderful agriculture program at Loretto High School, and they are constantly in competitions and do very well. And he is preparing, since agriculture is very popular and very big
Right.
part of our community, a lot of his students go on to work in other programs as well.
Right.
So, like I said, all of our programs are setting our students up for success, no matter what the program might be.
Right. And you had told me one time that a workplace is going to take priority with an OSHA student over one without it, because that's going to save them money from having to train about OSHA. Because in a lot of workplaces, it's required because safety is very important in a workplace.
It is, and we have in the construction, the agriculture, all of our plumbing, electric, they all are doing OSHA.
Right.
Health science does OSHA as well. And some of the OSHA programs, of course, are tailored to those areas, such as a health science OSHA would be different than a construction core OSHA. But they're definitely getting exposure.
Right. And hands-on is so much better for sure. And I think for me personally, I'm a visual person, so sitting in front of a computer and using these word processing things, it's a lot of fun, and it really retains in my memory, when that.
Well, and we actually, along those lines, we have articulation agreements, for instance, with Columbia State right now, that if you pass 3 of the Microsoft Office Specialist exams, and then, do some paperwork and other things, you can, receive your college class credit for that. So there's a lot of benefits to it.
There are. So we will be right back after this quick commercial break.
Introducing Cloud9 Fiber to Lawrenceburg. We take great pride in being the only locally owned and operated internet company within Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County. We're now offering up to gigabit services with plans starting at $50 per month. Surf the internet with blazing fast speeds and reliability, all while keeping your investment within Lawrence County. For more information, visit cloud9fiber.com to request for us to build your area next.
Industrial LED Lighting is Middle Tennessee's choice for quality, affordable lighting solutions. With many years of experience and many satisfied customers, Industrial LED stands ready to serve you. Our large variety of high-quality products and great customer service ensures that you always walk out satisfied. Industrial LED Lighting is located at 319 Jerry Street in Lawrenceburg. Stop in today and let us serve you. Industrial LED Lighting, we are the light.
Ray's Produce and More is a family-owned and operated produce house located at the west end of Lawrence County, Tennessee. Ray's Produce offers a large selection of fresh and local produce and much more. Headed to Laurel Hill Lake, we offer a great selection of fishing bait and live worms too. Stop in Monday through Saturday from 9:30 to 5:30 for exceptional customer service and even better produce. Visit us at 42 Chisholm Crossing, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, or give us a call at 931-629-0717. Don't forget, you can find us on Facebook too.
And we're back after that quick commercial break with Miss Mary Pack, who is a Loretto High School business teacher. So, Miss Pack, the next question, let's talk about virtual enterprise, because that was a program I was involved in for 2 years, almost 3 if Connor Potts had gotten his way. But anyways, it was a lot of fun for 2 years. So let's talk about that.
Well, for the people who don't know, virtual enterprise is in all 3 of our high schools, but the program itself is a simulated business environment where the students who are in the class, and it's a year-long class, they're actually employees of our company, of our virtual company. We have a virtual firm. The name of ours at Loretto is, of course, the Animal Kingdom Incorporated. We've been the same company for 13 years now.
Wow.
I can't believe it's been 13 years,
crazy.
but it is. Lawrence County has had the program a little bit longer than us, and then Summertown not as long as us. But the students every day come to work, and based on the department they're in, they have their daily job tasks. And we have accounting and marketing and sales and purchasing and administration and human resources. So they get exposed to all areas of business, and they actually run this business throughout the year. And they have an active website. Our company has a website where our customers are students in other schools with this program. And this program itself is actually international.
Right.
And there are thousands of students in the program. Tennessee has always been very strong in the program, as some other states. It originated in the New York area,
Right.
so the curriculum comes through the New York area. But it's a massive, massive program.
There's a lot of aspects. I mean, we could sit here and talk about virtual enterprise all day.
We could.
Just breaking it down by department. I mean, there was all kinds of awards that we've gotten as well, and it was so much fun.
It is fun, and it's the parts that don't seem as fun sometimes are the deadlines.
Right.
Obviously.
I mean, it's a literal business environment.
There
You
are
have
always
deadlines.
competitions next week, or there
Right.
are deadlines, reports that have to be submitted, things that have to run
Right.
smoothly, which is preparing you for
Exactly.
the real business
the
world.
real
We all
environment.
have to deal with
Right.
deadlines, and so that's it's fun. We work hard, we play hard. It's it's a great
Right.
experience for kids.
But the memories that you come out of school with through that program is just it's phenomenal. Because I mean, honestly, people talk about networking and building all of these relationships, but in reality, this little class at Loretto High School is networking too.
Sure.
It's building relationships, which is really awesome because you really get to see what a real business environment feels like and how your position works directly with different departments as well.
Right. Because like I tell, the kids all the time, you may be part of the marketing department, but you may have to help out accounting this week. So, they're trained in multiple areas sometimes. And a person may have an expertise that they don't get to use all the time because they're in a
Right.
department that doesn't use it as much. But this happened just the other day, and somebody came up with this really great marketing idea from the accounting department.
Uh-huh.
It was
Right.
something that,
Right.
popped into their head. And so it teaches a lot of people skills too, and working with others.
Communication. which is-
Communication,
right.
written, verbal, leadership skills,
Yes.
organization type, activities
Right.
all the time. And the interview process itself. Many kids have not gone on a
Right.
real job interview, and so we do panel job interviews at the beginning of the year for those job, positions, and it's a great experience in itself.
Yes. It's an eye opener for sure because if you've never had an interview, it's really interesting.
And in your case, last year, some of our competitions were through Zoom for the first rounds and so forth. Well, all the rounds with you
For-
guys
for our
last
group,
year.
yeah.
This year, it's the first rounds are Zoom. We're actually going to get to do a few in-person things
That's
this year,
awesome.
so we're
That's
excited.
awesome.
But a lot of people don't know how to navigate a Zoom correctly. And so that was the experience in itself.
Yes, it was interesting because you could, for our case, we had a business plan team of five or
Five.
six. Five,
You had
okay.
five.
It's bad that I forgot that. But anyways, we were all sitting in the library, and we had to be spread out because if you get too close, then you have feedback through all the computers. But then also you have to work on timing,
Yes.
and so you have to time it correctly. And that it was seriously
And remember to unmute when it's your turn to
Yes.
talk.
because otherwise you're
And-
just going to be like.
And mute back
Yeah, right.
when you're finished.
Right,
It's time
right.
for the next person.
Exactly.
And so there's a lot of technology, not just through something like that, but just the software that we use,
Exactly.
Photoshop and
Oh, yes.
and all the different
Right.
Microsoft products or whatever. So there's a lot involved.
Canva's been our lifesaver for a while.
Canva has been very popular
Yes.
throughout the entire Virtual Enterprise
Right.
Network. And it's so nice that you can get to it anywhere. You don't
Yes.
have to be sitting in the classroom, so you can
Exactly.
get to it anywhere. So we've had a lot of success with
Yes.
that too. But we are, like I said, going to get to do some in-person things this year. We're supposed to have a trade fair in February in Pigeon Forge. It is a national trade fair, though. It's not just
Wow.
the southern region as it used to be, and we would have it in
Right.
November, which was the last trade fair we got to go
Yes.
on. Actually, was
Yeah.
a year and a half ago.
And it was a lot of fun.
It was wonderful. But we're supposed to be doing that in February.
Awesome.
So we're really hoping that will work out. And, my class this year has never been to a trade fair. So this is a total new experience for
Right,
them.
right.
So
And it was
it'll be
fun the first time we went. It's not. I mean, it's like to me it was like a vacation because I'm getting
Well,
to
it
do
is,
business,
kind of.
which I love, and then get to go and just do fun stuff. And
Right.
it was really funny because we went after we got done with our business. We went and ate. And then me and a group of friends went on the sky lift in Gatlinburg. And if you've never been there, they have a bridge that's crossing this very big canyon deal, and right in the middle of that bridge, this is just a tension bridge, I guess is what they call it.
Yeah.
There's glass panes.
Yeah.
And whenever we were there was only 3. Now they've put like 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think it's changed a little bit since we were there.
And Jessica Kozart can tell you exactly what my face was whenever I was walking across that bridge. I was glued to that piece of
I would have been too.
piece
Yeah.
of metal that was
Yeah.
holding up the bridge. But
Yeah.
anyways, it was a lot of fun. But I'll always remember that just because of
And you know, a trade fair experience is something too
Right.
that you think, well, what is this trade fair you're speaking about? Well, it's kind of like the exhibits at the fair. You know, everybody has a 10 by 10 booth, every
Right.
business, every school, and that's your store for that day. And so
Right.
you've spent all these weeks preparing how you're decorating it, how you're setting everything up, where everybody's standing, where all
Right.
of this is placed. And then when they ring the bell to start trading, there's these hundreds of students everywhere,
right.
and your sales team is, you're buying and selling your pets or whatever your
Right.
firm may be. And so it's just the networking is really, and your
Yes.
selling skills, your communication skills
Absolutely.
are so important at that point, especially because the better you communicate, the more sales
Right.
your firm
Right.
gets. So.
We could talk
Right.
about virtual
Yeah, we could
enterprise
be
all
here all
day,
day,
but
so we will-
anyways, let's talk about education in Lawrence County in
Sure.
general. You as a teacher are on the front lines is what I'm going to call it. So what could be improved in Lawrence County education that you personally believe that would affect education?
Well, I don't know if I would say improved per se, but I think we've got a lot of things going right now that we just need to not let up on and stay abreast on. For instance, our school system did a wonderful job when COVID came around. We all adjusted. We as teachers had to change the way we did things.
Right.
We had to learn more technology. We had to get used to recording ourselves. Just lots of different things, And then last year you had part of your kids there, part of your kids not there. So, you had to keep everybody together at
Right.
the same place.
Right.
And so our technology department, we rolled out a lot of new technology this year, especially. We have the new interactive box light panels and other things that we've
Right.
done. And our students got new Chromebooks, which is great.
Yes.
So I think staying on top of the technology is super important. We just need to keep all that going and keep the communication going like we've had. Mr. Atkins does a little broadcast to us every Friday morning where he updates us on everything, which is wonderful, and we all appreciate so
Yes.
much. And he motivates us too. He gives us that little, don't forget why
Right.
you're here,
Right.
that kind of thing. And so that's a wonderful, I think. So I think, of course, any school system could use more funding and
Yes.
facility improvement
Right.
and things like that. But, our county does a great job using the resources that we have and doing as many improvements and upgrades as we can.
Yes.
And so I think we do. Everybody on the team from Mr. Atkins down does a great job.
Yes. Well, and I was about to say, Mr. Atkins does a phenomenal job. Just whenever they had just brought him on as interim director of schools, I'm like, they really need to make him the director of schools because he has done, just navigating the entire school system through COVID was seriously
that was
impressive.
That was
7,000 students have to
Difficult.
figure out
Difficult.
how they're going to, how we're going to be schooled. And I can't imagine the pressure that he was under, but he handled it very well. And Mr. Atkins is just phenomenal. He really is.
And like I said, from his position down, we have a great leadership team at the central office.
Right.
Ms. Shannon Watson, our CTE director, we have the best in the state there.
Yes.
And everybody has just learned to work together and always put the student at the
Right.
the front there. And so I think just continuing that
Yes.
will continue to have success.
So you were one of the top 9 teachers in the state to be nominated for the Tennessee Teacher of the Year. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that experience because the year that happened, I was just jaw dropped the entire time. I'm so happy, but
Well, first I just want to say, that could be any of my cohorts. It's not just me. We have some wonderful, wonderful teachers in Lawrence County.
yes.
But that was it was a great experience.
Mhm.
It really was. I met so many new people at the State Department.
Right.
Wonderful people up there,
Mhm.
and we were treated like royalty. When we would go for a meeting or something, and it was wonderful. Just the whole experience, and of course they came to high school
Right.
and filmed some things and
Mhm.
talked to some students, and I know it made some poor Lauren Potts was had to be one of them that talked to them. But it was a great it was just a great experience to be recognized and to be in
Yes.
that position. I was very blessed to be able to do that, and like I say, meet a lot of great people.
So, what would you say a student? What would you say to a student interested in a teaching career?
I would say, go for it. We need you. We
for
need
sure.
good teachers. And strong, dedicated teachers.
Yes.
And there will never be another position you could be in that would be as rewarding as seeing a former student like Dave, being in Walmart and running into someone that you taught 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago.
Right.
And you can remember exactly where they sat in your classroom.
Wow.
And they say something to you. They thank you for something, or they introduce you to their family or whatever. And it makes your day.
Wow.
Makes your day.
And so on top of that, you're a business teacher, and you've been in the business industry. So what would you say to a student wanting to pursue a career in business?
Business itself. Business is so wide open for opportunities for success. You've got so many directions you can go. You've got accounting, you've got marketing, you've got management, entrepreneurship. So many different routes that you can take and be so successful. They're all in demand. Entrepreneurship is a wonderful way that if you're
Yes.
creative and want to be your own boss, go for it. We have so many opportunities there. So, a career in business is, of course, that's my first love. I love business.
Right.
And my students have to listen all the time to my business stories, or
Hey,
whatever.
They're fun to hear about.
But it's just a wonderful field. It's just a wonderful way to go.
Yeah. So, Ms. Pack, is there anything that I've missed that you want to talk about? Because, there's all kinds of things that we could talk about.
I can't think of anything right
All
now,
right.
Dave. I can't think. I'm just so happy to be here. So happy to see you
it was
doing this.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
It was so much fun to talk to you. I've been looking forward to this for a while, and
Me
hopefully
too.
we'll have you on again soon to update us about the trade fair.
And we want you to come back to the
Yes,
classroom. To
Maybe
see
we'll have an
the kids,
interactive
you know,
the
that's
Dave
right.
Ray show at
That's
Loretto
right,
High
that's
School.
right.
Maybe we'll do something like that. Anyways,
That sounds good.
well, thank you for coming on the show, Miss Pack.
Thank
Again,
you,
I look
Dave.
forward to having you on again. So tune in next Friday night on YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.